Well, boys, that was a very fun draft. I think the Houston Texans got a lot of great players and players with some potential and one head scratcher. We're gonna talk about it next. Let's cue the intro.
The city of the dream team, Hakeem, Two-Ring, Beyonce, yeah, man. And I remember hot summer, hot winter. I couldn't fight, so the block made a hot spill.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the 713 Houston Sportcast. I'm your host, Ruben Calvillo. And the draft just ended, and honestly, if I'm going to give the Texans, well, I'm going to get to that later, but the Houston Texans, I think, had a very good draft, right? With one head scratcher in there. I think y'all know who he is, but we're going to start off with the first pick, and with their first pick, they got Ross Blacklock, somebody who I was very high on, somebody who I was happy to get. He's dominated against the run. He's shown that he could get to the quarterback. You know, he has some consistency issues, but, you know, that's all going to change now. He's coming to the NFL. He's going to be alongside jjwatt. Hopefully he learns from him. Hopefully he picks up his motor. But Ross Blacklock is somebody who could come in. He's going to start day one, and he is going to be absolutely phenomenal. The dude is huge, and if you leave him one-on-one, you know, he's going to win that battle 70% of the time. The only question is what kind of defense is Anthony Weaver going to run? If it runs a 3-4, perfect. If it runs a 4-3, perfect. You know, I'm just excited to where we put Ross Blacklock. I hope we can move him around, you know, move him to DN and then back to defensive tackle. You know, just move him on that defensive line and have them guessing. The dude is absolutely huge, and he's very nimble and swift for his size. He shouldn't be moving the way he does. If you see on Twitter, he's posting his footwork exercise, and he looks like an absolute, you know, monster on there. Ross Blacklock, somebody who could come in, will help the defense off the bat. I was, you know, this was billobrien's guy. You know, this was who he wanted if it wasn't Patrick Queen. But I'm glad that he was there. Ross Blacklock, very excited. I give that, you know what, I'll give it an A. You know, because that is a position that we needed. Moving on to our second pick, Jonathan Green, edge out of Florida. Jonathan Green is somebody who was a phenomenal edge from Florida. I think he had 16 sacks in 2 seasons there. You know, 15 tackles for loss. He's somebody that could come in and compete for that starting edge spot. You know, he's very good against the run, very good against the pass. I love Jacob Martin, but Jacob Martin is a non-factor in the run game. Maybe Jonathan Green can come in, take over that role at the middle of the season, because he's an absolute monster. Could get to the quarterback, could stop the run. His play recognition is absolutely phenomenal. The number of pass rushing moves, the spin moves, the hook. You know, he has a lot of weapons in his repertoire that he is going to use to get to the quarterback, and his speed alone is going to create a mismatch. Jonathan Green can really be a potential, you know, steal for this Houston Texans team. I know we got him in the 3rd round, but he is somebody who has a lot of potential for this Houston Texans team. And look at what they did. Look at what billobrien did. He saw that the defensive line needed work. He brings in a defensive tackle, and he brings in an edge rusher. 2 guys who could start from day one. Moving on to our 3rd selection, we traded up, which I don't understand why, for Charlie Heck, offensive tackle out of North Carolina. This was a huge head scratcher because you could have gotten other players, you know, like Armand Robertson or Bryce Hall or Curtis Weaver. And, you know, you selected him. I don't understand why. You know, I thought the Houston Texans were thinking about moving him to guard. That's not true. He's just going to be a backup. He's going to be a depth player. He's going to be their swing tackle. And you know what? You know, he's very huge. He's very long. He's a very athletic player. I'm not trying to knock the guy, right? His athleticism is going to make him an excellent swing tackle because he was a tight end and then he switched to the left tackle position. He gained a lot of weight. And, you know, his father is an NFL lineman coach for the Kansas City Chiefs. So who knows? Hopefully he's already in the lab working, and he could be a potential, you know, developmental great player for this Houston Texans offensive line. I think this Houston Texans offensive line will be absolutely better than what it was last season. Sharp is going to be in 2nd year. Titus Howard is going to be in 2nd year. Larry Tunsil is going to get all the playbook, all the training camp down. You know, because he got traded here about a week before the game against the Saints. You know, Charlie Heck, he was a head scratcher, but hey, you know, I'm not gonna knock the guy until I see him play. Moving on, we selected a cornerback, you know, John Reed out of Penn State, and this is a billobrien guy, an absolutely smart guy who is developing video games and developing computers. You know, they said that his understanding and his learning ability for the game is absolutely phenomenal. That there was a barbecue and him and his defensive coordinators were upstairs watching film. So that right there shows like he loves to learn, and and he was absolutely very good. In his year at Penn State. He's not great at one thing, but he's great at a lot of things. You could put him outside, you could put him inside, you could put him in the nickel. On man coverage snaps, on 97 man coverage snaps, he allowed 6 catches and he forced 5 pass defense. So he could show that he played very good in man coverage, and that is something that the Houston Texans run a lot, is man coverage throw. But this is a versatile guy, can be moved all around the secondary, and hopefully he can make an impact on this team. I love the pick, man, because Bill O'Brien said that this was a guy that he recruited to go to Penn State. So this shows you that Bill O'Brien, had thought about him in the past, and he was there for the Houston Texans. Now moving on to the last pick in our draft, we got Derek Coulter, wide receiver out of Rhode Island, and this guy has the potential to be an absolute steal. He's 6'2", he runs a 4.4, and he goes to he went to Rhode Island, and they haven't had a player drafted there in I think about 30 years. So that shows you how this guy is good. He could run the 50-50 ball. He is a speed demon. He has crazy routes. He is somebody that Will Fuller cannot stay healthy. All of our wide receivers have injury questions. So you could maybe see this guy come in and play for the Houston Texans this season, and I'm all for it, man. On this guy's tape, it looks like he's just an absolute monster, and he's gonna learn from Andre Johnson, which I'm super excited about. On the deep balls, he was targeted 33 times. He caught half of those for 453 yards and 5 touchdowns. Those are only deep balls, right? So he can get the deep ball. Something that the Houston Texans are trying to transition. Their offense is going just nothing but speed. I'm here for it. I'm super excited. That was our draft class, guys. I'm just waiting for the undrafted free agent list to come out. I'm super excited. Hopefully we see Thaddeus Moss there. Thaddeus Moss was not drafted. I'm not understood why. If he's there, I would love to see the Houston Texans give him a shot at training camp, and maybe he could come on and just absolutely ball out. But that was the Houston Texans draft, guys. We're going to be breaking down these guys next week, right? I'm going to bring in Texans thoughts, so I brought in, and we're going to each day we're going to go by the one player, what they're good at, what they're bad at. We're going to come back with Ari again from Texans Unfiltered, and he's going to give his thoughts on the draft. We're going to be coming back with Cody Stoops. So yes, guys, I'm going to be giving you a bunch of content, guys. Stay looking out. We're at 600 subscribers. The climb to 1,000 is here. I'm going to give this Houston Texans grade a B. A B. Let me know what you guys think, guys. As always, go Texans. You know what? Y'all have a blessed day.